Hi guys, I'm Megan.
I'm Justin, and our channel is called Making Up As We Grow, where we talk about how we're a family of 5 living in an Airstream. And today we're going to talk about the 5 reasons why we decided to move into the Airstream.
Yeah, so number 5 was that we wanted to be closer to nature. We've always loved being outside, and we knew that if we moved into a camper, that then we'd be able to be outside even more. Justin and I, even whenever the weather's nice and not a lot of snow, we'll take our computers outside, we work out outside, and it's really nice. The kids get to play with other kids, and yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to just owning property or renting property and you just have to stay in your yard, or maybe you could walk through the neighborhood or whatever. The kids have the free reign of the entire place that you're staying at. So right now we're at a resort in Idaho. Before this we were at a KOA for a while. Before that we were at a privately owned campground. So wherever you go, it's always the same. The kids, as long as it's safe and within reason, the kids can go wherever they want and have lots of fun. So the entire place becomes their playground, not just like the half acre that you own out front or whatever. Number 4 is that it's an investment. Instead of just paying into rent, which there's nothing wrong with a rental agreement, we've done that for several years. Instead of just paying into someone's mortgage, though, paying down someone else's mortgage for them, you could have your own investment, either a fifth wheel or a Sprinter van, or
at least we felt like, yeah,
an Airstream or a bumper pull. A lot of people say they're not an investment. I would argue that as long as you take care of it, you do proper maintenance, you replace components as they break, and you just take good care of it, then it's going to be an investment, and you're going to be able to pay off your loan or sell it for even more than what you owe on your loan when you're done with it. Or you can just keep it like we intend to. We intend to just keep the Airstream, which goes right into number 3.
Well, and also like with the investment part, so we would love to own property someday, and in our minds we'll be able, as long as we get electric, sewer, and water, out to the property, we'll be able to plop the Airstream down there and build a barn or whatever while we wait. But number 3 was, outside of Portland anyway, this is about $1,000 cheaper than living in a rental in Portland, even like a 2-3 bedroom. And we're not fancy people, so we weren't looking at these like big nice houses. And it could also be because we have a dog and she's like 50 pounds. So if you've ever rented properties, you know that people aren't always too keen on that. But we pay for propane, electricity, the spot, and then the Airstream payment, and it's still about $1,000 cheaper than what we were looking at in Portland.
Yep. And number 2 is the freedom. So if we move somewhere and we don't like it, or someone moves in next to us or across the street, or there's a dog that's in the place that's dangerous or barks or chases kids, or we don't like the community, or the weather's bad, whatever the reason is, if we don't want to be there, it takes about an hour to pack everything up and hook it onto the truck, and we leave and we go somewhere else, depending on site availability, depending on where you want to go. But within reason, you can leave at a moment's notice,
or you can move spots too,
or you can just
like our
move spots.
Old spot, or our old place. Yeah,
you can just move spots. And
it's also, so this goes into number 1 too, but it's really freeing to not have a lot of junk. And we do have a storage. We have a storage container that has like the stuff that we knew we didn't want to get rid of, like the bed. We have a bar that we bought in Germany. Our washer and dryers, which we'll see if they work.
Some of our exercise equipment that's too big, like we got a power rack that is too big to move around with us, obviously. What else is in there? A couple of bed frames that it's not worth it to sell it, and we don't want to buy another one in 4 or 5 years. So.
Yeah. And like the movers, if you've ever done military moves, you know that your stuff's going to break. Yeah. Well, I guess, any moves. And so like our broken bed frames, we don't want to throw them out because we know that nobody's going to want them, but we'll be able to fix them and use them whenever we have a house again. So that kind of goes with number 1, which is just downsizing. We've always wanted to downsize. We've always thought about living in a tiny house. In fact, whenever we lived in Arizona back in 2016, Justin tried to stay at Fort Huachuca. Of course, it's like the one time there were no spots there.
Didn't work out.
But I worked in Tucson, so I was driving about an hour and a half to get to work. So about 3 hours round trip to get to the hospital, and that's not when it was tsunami season, and I had to drive 20 on the highway.
Monsoon season.
Yeah, oh, what'd I say?
Tsunami.
Tsunami, I meant monsoon. That's me. But yeah, so we were gonna live halfway, and we didn't do it then. And then he got orders to Germany, so we really weren't going to do it, because in Germany, when you have families, at least where we were, they pretty much force you into some kind of government housing. So downsizing has been probably one of my favorite things, and I feel like we didn't have a lot in the beginning. We got rid of a lot of stuff, and we still have a long way to go.
Yeah, we just continue to like pare down as we go. There's some things that just continue to float around with us, but for the most part, even since we've moved into the airstream 6-7 months ago, we've still continued to get rid of things. So if we haven't used it in 60 to 90 days, it goes to donate, or it gets posted on Marketplace, Craigslist, whatever, and it gets sold. So I mean, we're down to, I think, like the bare minimum of stuff we need. There's still some things in storage we want to get rid of. We just haven't been able to yet.
Yeah, and I would say too, on the note of downsizing, one thing that has sucked, at least for me, has been this winter. We've been in a very cold place. We got about 6 feet of snow, so we've had snow pants, coats, scarves, hats. Everybody's had their own boots, and that adds up really fast in a place like this, especially when you consider like your thick sweaters that you want to wear and those sorts of things. But besides that, it's really helped shown us what's a priority too.
Yeah, it's what you really need. And like I said, there's a few sentimental things in storage, but really not a lot. A lot of it is just stuff that we could easily get rid of. It's just not financially reasonable to do it, because if we build in 5-6 years, whenever that happens, or if we decide to move around even longer, it really doesn't make sense to sell all those things when storage is super cheap where we are right now. So
yeah.
But everything in here is pretty much the bare minimum that we have, and we've really started to realize, I think, that most of the stuff that we have in storage, like when we go through a box and we open it, we're like, why do we even have all these things? Why did we buy this in the first place?
Why have we kept it this long?
Yeah, it's got to go. And really, if we could donate more fast enough, I think we probably would. The limit really is donation centers can't take enough.
We're in a small town.
Yeah, or it'll all be gone. So
yeah. But yeah, so let us know in the comments if you guys have wanted to downsize, or if you've been in the process like we were for quite a few years. We would love to hear what your guys' thoughts are on all that. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Can you say bye-bye, Jordan?